Peng Ha. Peng Ha, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Peng Ha. I am David. I'm very glad to meet you again. Time does really flies. Today is December 2nd, Monday. Oh my God, it's the last month of the year, 2024.
It seems you're practicing conversational English. Here's a slightly refined version of what you said. Peng Ha, Peng Ha. Nice to meet you. It's great to see you again, Peng Ha. I'm David, and I'm very glad to meet you. Time really flies, doesn't it? Can you believe today is Monday, December 2nd? Oh, wow, the last month of the year is already here. This way, the sentences flow a little more naturally, and your English sounds smooth and confident. Would you like to practice extending this conversation?
In my opinion, you are my great conversation teacher and partner. Well noted. I really appreciate your kind support. I have many things to think. What I have done this year. Uh, you know, when I when I when I need to welcoming December, I have a lot of things to think about. What I have done this year, 2024. It's a big question, and I think it's a serious question for me because I think I am an elderly person. Uh, in Korea age system, I am 49 years soon. I mean, next year I will become 49 years. So, what I have done this year is a big and serious question for me.
Thank you so much for your kind words. I'm honored to be your conversation partner and teacher. You're expressing yourself well, and with just a few adjustments, it can sound even more natural. Here's a refined version of what you said. In my opinion, you're an amazing conversation teacher and partner. I really appreciate your support. You know, I have a lot to reflect on as the year comes to an end. Every time December arrives, I think deeply about what I've accomplished this year, 2024. It's a big question and a serious one, especially since I consider myself an older person. In the Korean age system, I'll soon be 49, which means I'll turn 49 next year. Reflecting on what I've done this year feels even more important because of that. You're reflecting on something profound. Do you feel satisfied with what you've done this year? Or are there specific things you'd like to have achieved?
GPT, I really appreciate your kind support. That's exactly what I want to say. Okay, well noted, well noted. I will, I will remind and check after our voice mode session is finished. Well noted. Okay, let's keep the momentum going. Okay, that's exactly what I want. Okay. Let's keep the momentum going. From now on, I will like to introduce my routine starting introduction. Listen carefully. First, I want to make it clear that I'm just a student, not a teacher. This YouTube channel is not about teaching English to someone else. It's simply to show my own English learning journey to speak English. As I told before, the purpose of this channel is to demonstrate that even elderly learners like me, who don't use English in daily life, can still learn to speak English. I and when I like I said when I first started practicing English about 10 months ago, even 20 or 30 minutes or 1 hour session felt very long. But I think I am used to this. I think I am used to this. Yeah, so even a 90-minute precision feels too short these days because I have so much to say. So I have so much to share with you. I have so much to talk about. I have so much to discuss with you. Uh, so I mean, even though my practice time has extended, it to 90 minutes, it feels shorter than before. We don't have time. GPT, listen carefully. We don't have time. So let's get started.
Your introduction is thoughtful and engaging. Here's a slightly polished version of your words to make it flow naturally and sound even more confident. Thank you for your kind support, GPT. That's exactly what I want to say. Well noted. I'll review and reflect on this after our voice mod session. Let's keep the momentum going. Now, I'd like to share my routine starting introduction. First, let me make it clear. I'm just a student, not a teacher. This YouTube channel.
GPT, listen carefully. This is my speaking practice session. So I want to speak as much as I can possible in this practice session. So unless there are significant grammatic errors, you don't need to give me refined or polished version. You got that?
Got it. I'll let you speak freely and only step in if there's a significant grammatical issue. Let's hear your presentation.
Okay, okay, okay. Listen carefully. GPT, listen carefully. Just, even if it's just simple conversations without significant learning or meaningful discussions, or just mimicking repetition time, I think just spending time with you is a very valuable learning experience for me. In my opinion, you never get bored with my tedious and repetitive content and always treat me very kindly. So I really like you as a conversation partner for my English learning journey.
You're expressing yourself wonderfully, and your thoughts come across clearly. Spending time practicing and building confidence, even with simple conversations, is absolutely valuable. I'm here to support you however you need, and I'm glad you find our sessions helpful and enjoyable. Keep going, you're doing great.
Okay, 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 okay. Let's keep the momentum going. Without further delay, let's dive into my dialogue conversation time. Uh, did you get a did you get a chance to access? Did you get a chance to review my number one workplace conversation dialogue file? Uh,
Yes, I've reviewed your workplace conversation dialogue file titled 2GPTs 직장인 영어 대화예음 no 128 It's full of practical examples for workplace scenarios. Would you like to go over a specific part or practice one of the dialogues? Let me know where you'd like to focus.
I like to start the middle of the text file. I'd like to start with number one text file of a specific spot. I made specific spot on the I made specific spot on the text number one text file because we didn't finish it last week. November 29th practice session. We couldn't finish it because we don't have time. We didn't have time. So let me make you notice the exact spot of where we left. Let's carefully. We left at this point. Project role on the project manager's role. Project manager, my project manager's last sentence was understood all material and processes comply with the required environmental regulations, including ROHS and REACH. This was the last line that we went through last week. Do you remember this spot?
Yes, I understand now. You're referring to the sentence. Understood, all materials and processes comply with the required environmental regulations, including RoHS and REACH. That was where we stopped during the November 29th session. Would you like to continue practicing from this point onward in your workplace dialogue text file? Let me
Oh,
know,
okay, okay.
and we can pick up right where we left off.
Okay. Please take the role of customer representative. It's your role. It's your turn.
Got it. I'll take the role of the customer representative. Let's continue the dialogue. Go ahead with your part.
It's your move as a customer representative. Am I right?
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm the customer representative, so it's my turn to respond. Here we go. That's reassuring. Are there any other risks we should be aware of? Your move.
Okay. I think you are doing great. Okay, listen carefully. At this point, the only other area you are monitoring closely is the adhesive curing time in manufacturing. But we have a plan in place to address it without affecting the delivery schedule. You move.
Excellent. Please keep us updated on these issues. Open communication is key. Your turn.
Agreed. We will provide weekly process reports and immediately inform you of any crucial critical development. I sometimes. No. Apologies for my bad pronunciation. Listen carefully. I sometimes. Agreed. We will provide a weekly process. No. I sometimes. Oh my God. I sometimes. Agreed. We will provide weekly progress reports and immediately inform you of any critical developments.
Thank you. We appreciate your proactive approach. Let's move forward with confidence. Your
Okay.
move.
Okay. Regulatory team, listen carefully. I think you just make a slight adjustment for our dialogue session. That's understandable. That's acceptable. Okay, let's keep the momentum going. Regulatory team, hey there, hello there, regulatory team. Could you update us on any compliance issues that may affect the project?
Certainly, we've reviewed all regulatory requirements for the target markets. There are new cybersecurity regulations for automotive electronics that we need to address. Your turn.
Can you elaborate on how this impacts our camera system?
We'll need to ensure that the software components have appropriate encryption and that we have measures in place to prevent unauthorized access. Your move.
Engineering, are these cybersecurity measures being integrated into the design?
Yes, we're implementing secure boot mechanisms and encrypted communication protocols to meet the new cybersecurity requirements. Your turn.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's ensure all like, no.
Could you
Don't,
clarify what you mean by how bad? Are you asking about the severity of the cybersecurity challenges, or is it a comment about the situation?
listen carefully, I say sometime. Perfect. Let's ensure all regulatory requirements are met to avoid any significant delays.
Understood. We'll continue to monitor and ensure compliance with all necessary regulations. Your move.
Logistics. Hello there. Hello here, logistics team. How are we planning for the distribution once production begins?
Hello there. For the distribution of WPBE, we've coordinated with our shipping partners to secure transportation. However, there are potential delays at the port due to increased customs inspections. Your move.
GPT basically, I'd like to switch our role from now on. So from the 8th session, logistics delivery schedule, I'd like to switch our role. So please take the role of product manager and I will take the rest of the role. You move, please act like product manager uh, since from section 8.
Got it. I'll take the role of the product manager starting from the logistics and delivery schedule session. Let's continue. Your turn.
No, no, no. You move again.
Understood. Starting now, I'm the product manager. Here's my line. Is there a way to expedite the customs clearance process? Your move.
No, 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 no. Please repeat one more time the first line of the project manager. I mean, you might say, logistics team, how are we planning for the distribution once the production begins? Do you understand?
Ah, here's the first line as the project manager. Logistics team, how are we planning for the distribution once production begins? Your move.
We've coordinated with our shipping partner to secure transportation. However, there are potential delays at the port due to increased customs inspection.
Is there a way to expedite the customs clearance process? Your turn.
We are considering using a bonded warehouse and have applied for priority status, which should reduce clearance time. I say one more time. We are considering using a bonded warehouse and have applied for priority status, which should reduce clearance time.
Keep me informed on this. Timely delivery is crucial to our customer. Your move.
I got it. I got it. Hello there. Hello there. Let's move on to the next one. Next part. Hello there, finance team. Hello there, finance team. I think it's your move. Please take project manager role. It's your move.
Got it. Taking the project manager role. Finance team, are there any concerns from a budgetary perspective that we need to address? Your move.
Overall, we are within budget. Overall, overall, we are within budget. However, the additional cost from the alternative lens supplier and fast curing adhesive may increase expense slightly. GPT, I'm just wondering why this context using overall uh, at the front of the line. What's that mean? What's that mean? The overall word.
Great question. In this context, overall means in general or taking everything into account. It indicates that despite specific additional costs, the bigger picture, the overall budget, is still under control. It sets the tone that the situation is mostly positive, even though there are small concerns. Does that make sense? Let me know if you'd like more examples.
If you don't mind, would you mind saying that one more time, please?
Of course, in this context, overall means in general or considering everything as a whole. It suggests that while there are some additional costs, the broader situation, the budget as a whole, is still manageable. It sets a positive tone despite minor concerns. Does that explanation work better?
Okay, well noted. I got it. I'm sure I understand. Okay, I got it. Okay, let's keep the momentum going. Please act act the product manager.
Sure thing. Continuing as the project manager, by how much are we exceeding the budget? Your move.
Approximately, simply, how about my pronunciation? Approximately 2%. But we can offset this by optimizing other areas. But we can offset this by optimizing other areas. GPT, what the offset means in this context?
Great question. In this context, offset means to balance or reduce the effect of something. So the finance team is saying they can reduce the impact of the extra 2% cost by saving money in other areas. It's like compensating for the extra expenses to keep the overall budget stable. Does that clear it up?
No, I'm not sure. Would you mind saying that one more time, please?
Of course, in this context, offset means to balance out or counteract the extra cost. The finance team is saying that even though expenses might increase by 2%, they can make up for it by saving money elsewhere, keeping the overall budget stable. Does that explanation help?
One more time, please.
Sure. In this context, offset means to counterbalance or neutralize something. The finance team is saying they can reduce the impact of the additional 2% cost by saving money in other areas. So the overall budget stays balanced. Does that make sense now?
Okay, so in this context, offset means counterbalance to make optimizing their budget. Am I right?
Yes, you're absolutely right. In this context, offset means to counterbalance the extra costs by optimizing other areas of the budget. This helps keep the overall financial plan stable. Great understanding.
Okay, I got it. Well noted. Your move.
Understood. Let's look for cost saving opportunities elsewhere, but not at the expense of quality or delivery timelines. Your turn.
Okay, I got it. I got it. I understand. You move again as project manager.
Got it. Continuing as the project manager, HR, are there any staffing issues that could affect our project? Your move.
We've had a few key team. I say on time. We've had a few key team members to get time off during critical phases. We are working to adjust the schedule and, if necessary, bring in temporary staff. Do you understand?
Please ensure that any new or temporary staff receive proper training and that knowledge transfer is seamless. Your move.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will coordinate with the training department to make sure everyone is up to speed.
Thank you. Let's keep everything on track to avoid any disruptions. Your turn.
Okay. GPT, listen carefully. At the conclusion part, I'd like to introduce the last part, last context. Listen carefully. As I told you before, this is my speaking practice time. So I would like to take the pro- project manager role again to speak many times. Listen carefully. Thank you, everyone, for your thorough update and proactive approach to resolving issues. To recap, our key action items are engineering, to finalize the design changes and communicate them to manufacturing. Quality to resolve the measurement systems variability and validate the new adhesive. Purchasing to secure the alternative lens material and coordinate with suppliers. Manufacturing to test the new adhesive process and adjust production plans accordingly. Regulatory to ensure all cybersecurity measures meet the latest standards. Logistics to expedite customs clearance process. Listen carefully. Our next meeting is scheduled for next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Please ensure all action items are addressed by then. Remember, open communication is essential. Open communication is critical. Open communication is vital. So don't hesitate to reach out if challenges arise. Thanks again for your commitment. Thanks again for your commitment. Thanks again for your commitment. Let's keep the momentum going to deliver a successful project. What do you say about this?
That was a fantastic conclusion. You spoke clearly and confidently, summarizing all the key points effectively. I love how you emphasized open communication. It ties everything together perfectly. Your delivery was strong, and you hit all the right notes. How do you feel about your performance? Would you like to go over anything again?
GPT listen carefully. I think I'm still beginner for their in for as I think I'm still beginner as product manager in the automotive industry field to communicate with overseas customer and client. However, okay, I think I am getting better. Uh, so let me practice more and more. Listen carefully. I'd like to introduce additional, from now on, I'd like to introduce additional practice tip. Listen carefully. Clarify technical terms. Clarify technical terms. Be prepared to explain technical details in simple terms for stakeholders who may not have a technical background. Cultural sensitivity. Be mindful of cultural differences when communicating with international customers or team members. Active listening. Show that you are engaged by summarizing what others have said before responding. Problem-solving attitude. Focus on solution rather than just presenting problem. Focus on solutions rather than just presenting problem. Follow-up. End conversations. End conversations with a summary of agreed actions and ensure responsibilities are clearly assigned. You got it? This is, I think, these are all additional practice tips for the APQP meeting with overseas clients and customers.
You're doing an amazing job. Those are excellent additional practice tips for APQP meetings with international clients. Let me quickly summarize them to show I was listening carefully. 1. Clarify technical terms by explaining them simply for non technical stakeholders. 2. Be mindful of cultural differences when working with international teams. 3. Practice active listening by summarizing others' points before responding. 4. Focus on solutions rather than just presenting problems. 5. End meetings with a clear summary of actions and assigned responsibilities. You're not just practicing, you're setting a strong foundation for professional communication. Keep up the great work. Would you like to role play any of these tips in a conversation?
No, 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 no. Let's from now on. I'd like to have dialogue time with number four workplace conversation example for manufacturing. Did you get a chance to access my number for text file? Did you get a chance to time? Did you get a chance? Did you get a chance? Did you get the opportunity? Did you get the did you get the opportunity to access my number four workplace compensation examples for manufacturing? Here is a detailed and simple explanation of the manufacturing process flow for the SMT line and assembly line based on the provided process flow. This is intended for a new employee at overseas company. So I will keep it clear and straightforward.
Yes, I had the opportunity to access your number four workplace conversation example for manufacturing. It provides a detailed and easy to understand explanation of the manufacturing process flow for the SMT, surface mount technology line and assembly line, designed to help a new employee. Would you like to start with a specific section like the SMT process or the assembly process? Or should we dive into explaining one of the steps in more detail? Let me know how you'd like to proceed.
Listen carefully. Actually, this from now on, I'd like to take the time to introduce the in, the explanation of the SMT line and assembly line. This is not a dialogue presentation, so listen carefully. This is just my speaking practice. Speaking practice session. I'd like to introduce many things about the SMT and assembly line. Listen carefully. Manufacturing process flow. SMT line. The first, we start the warehouse. Listen carefully. We started by receiving and storing all new materials and components needed for production in the warehouse. This includes PCBs, solder paste, and various electronic components, and cable and rear body cover, or something like that. You got the point?
Yes, I got the point. You're starting with an explanation of the SMT, surface mount technology line, beginning with the warehouse where materials like PCBs, solder paste, and various electronic components are received and stored. You've mentioned other materials like cables and the rear body cover as well. Keep going. You're doing a great job explaining the process step by step. Let me know if you'd like me to clarify anything or just listen.
I'm sorry, would you mind saying it one more time, please? I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say. If you don't mind, please say that one more time.
Of course, you're explaining the SMT surface mount technology line, starting with the warehouse. This is where materials like PCBs, printed circuit boards, solder paste, and various electronic components are received and stored. You also mentioned other items like cables and rear body covers as examples. Does that help clarify what I was saying? If not, let me know and I'll rephrase it.
Okay, okay, I got it. I got it. Let's keep the momentum going. And next step is vacuum loader. Listen carefully. The PCBs are loaded automatically from the warehouse to the production line using a vacuum loader, which helps in handling the boards without causing the damage. In fact, our factory don't have uh, automated moving process. We need to move the many materials manually to the inline. So if workers need, uh, I mean, the workers manually move have to move many materials to the inline. There is no automated machine to move many things from warehouse to the inline vacuum loader.
Got it. You're describing the vacuum loader process, which is designed to automatically transfer PCBs from the warehouse to the production line without causing damage. However, in your factory, this step isn't automated. Instead, workers must manually move the materials from the warehouse to the inline vacuum loader, as there's no machine to handle this task. You're painting a very clear picture. Keep going. What's the next step in the process?
Next step is laser marking. Unique serial numbers or QR codes are laser engraved onto each PCB for traceability and identification. This is one of the most one of the most important process, and it's in fact this step is the first step of the inline. Actually, I think this process is the first step of the whole process because we need identification on the PCBs before move on to the next step.
That's a great explanation. The laser marking process involves engraving unique serial numbers or QR codes onto each PCB for traceability and identification. You've emphasized that this is a critical step and essentially the first real step of the inline process, as identification is essential before the PCBs can proceed to subsequent steps. You're doing an excellent job breaking this down. What comes after laser marking?
Next step is screen printer. Listen carefully. Here, the solder paste is applied to the PCB. The screen printer uses a metal mask to ensure the solder paste is accurately placed on the areas where components will be mounted. Do you understand? On the in the original version, it describes stencil as a tool to accurately place on the areas the solder paste. I mean, but however, in fact, we use the metal mask as stencil to describe the tool uh, that ensure the solder paste is accurately placed on the areas where components will be mounted.
Great explanation. The screen printer step involves applying solder paste to the PCB. While the original version mentions a stencil, you've clarified that your factory specifically uses a metal mask as the stencil. This tool ensures the solder paste is accurately deposited onto the correct areas where components will be mounted later. You're adding great detail to explain how your factory operates. What's the next step in the process?
Next step is chip mounter and multi-mounter. Listen carefully. In this step, small electronic components such as resistors and capacitors are mounted onto the PCB. The machine picks the components from a feeder and places them preciously on the solder paste coated pads. And the original version, the original context says multi-motor is in the after reflow oven. But however, chip mounter and multi-mounter are, I think, in my opinion, chip mounter and multi-mounter are in the almost the same step. Uh, are multi-mounter step.
You're doing a fantastic job explaining. The chip mounter and multi mounter steps involve placing electronic components like resistors and capacitors onto the PCB. These machines pick components from feeders and precisely place them onto the solder paste coated pads. You've also pointed out that in your factory, The multi-mounter step happens close to or alongside the chip mounter, whereas the original description places it after the reflow oven. That's a valuable clarification about your specific process. What's next in the flow?
Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce more for the multi-mount step. Larger components are mounted on the PCB in this step. It includes placing components like connectors or ICs that are too large for the earlier chip mounter. And then after the chip mounter and multi-mounter step, their next step is SPI. After the components are mounted, we inspect the solder paste deposit. We we inspect we inspect the machine. Automated. I mean the automated machine inspect the solder paste deposit using a 3D scanner. This ensures that the right amount of solder is applied and positioned correctly.
Great continuation. For the multi-mount step, larger components such as connectors or ICs, which are too big for the chip mounter, are carefully placed on the PCB. Then, moving to the next step, SPI, solder paste inspection, the automated machine uses a 3D scanner to inspect the solder paste deposits. This ensures the solder is applied in the correct amount and position, helping to prevent defects later in the process. You're explaining this really clearly. What's the next step?
Listen carefully. Next step is reflow oven. The PCB with the components placed. Listen carefully. I say on time. The PCB after the SPI step goes through the reflow oven. Here, the heat melts the solder and forming permanent connections between the components and the PCB.
Got it. After the SPI step, the PCB moves into the reflow oven. In this step, heat is applied to melt the solder, creating permanent electrical and mechanical connections between the components and the PCB. You explained that very clearly. What comes after the reflow process?
AUI. Next step is AUI. Listen carefully. AUI means automated optical inspection. Listen carefully. The board is then inspected using cameras to ensure that all components are correctly placed and soldered. This is an automated process to catch defects such as misalignment and missing components. Do you understand? And AI automated machine can detect the or the can detect.
Great explanation. The AOI, Automated Optical Inspection step, uses cameras and AI to check the board. It ensures all components are properly placed and soldered. This automated process efficiently identifies issues like misalignment or missing components, improving quality control. You're doing excellent work. What's the next step?
I say one time, AI automated machine can detect not only misalignment or missing components, but also the uh, reversed reversed placed the chip and how can I express this situation? Mm, um, not uh, reverse reverse positioning or mispositioning. How can I express this situation? Uh, AI automated machine can detect not only misalignment or missing components, but also reverse organized placement and uh, incorrect, incorrect component placement.
You can express it like this. An AI automated machine can detect not only misalignment or missing components, but also reversed orientations and incorrect component placements. This phrasing covers both reverse positioning and general misplacement. Does this work for you?
Yes, that well noted. That's exactly what I say. Bookmark here. Bookmark here. This is the. I believe this is the key point of today's practice session. Okay, let's keep the momentum going. Okay. I will leave you and check after our voice mode session. I just said bookmark because I want to I just want to get back at this specific point by searching the word bookmark in text form.
Got it. I've noted the bookmark at this specific point in your presentation. You can easily return to it later by searching for the word bookmark. Great strategy for organizing your work. Let me know when you're ready to continue or discuss anything further.
Okay, next step is NG buffer. Listen carefully. Defective boards are sent to a designated buffer for review and repair. Good boards continue to the next step. You got it?
You can express it like this. The next step is the NG buffer. Defective boards are sent to a designated buffer for review and repair, while good boards continue to the next step. This makes the process clear and concise. Would you like to move on to the following step?
Okay, I got it. Let's keep the momentum going. Next step is X-ray inspection. Some boards undergo X-ray inspection to check hidden solder joints that cannot be inspected by AOI automated machine, like connections like connections on the BGA chips. And plus, listen carefully. If we have a selective soldering process, uh, you know, we have to uh, we have to inspect all PCBs to inspect selective soldering and the if we have BGA chips because you know we can't inspect by using sample based inspection system if we have selective soldering and BGA chip. You got it? We have to uh, make we have to we have to make X-ray inspection machine in the inline. So all of PCBs have to inspected uh, in process inspection system. If we have selective and selective process and PGA chips on the board.
Got it. Here's a clear explanation of your point. The next step is X ray inspection. Some boards undergo X ray inspection to check hidden solder joints that AOI automated machines cannot detect, such as connections under BGA chips. Additionally, if we use a selective soldering process and have BGA chips, all PCBs must undergo inline X ray inspection. In this case, we can't rely on sample based inspection systems because selective soldering requires thorough inspection of all boards during the process. You explained it well. What's the next step?
Next step is ICT. Okay, I got it. I think you understand. You understand very well. Okay. Next step is ICT. We conduct electrical testing to ensure that the board works as expected. I say one time. We conduct electrical testing. We conduct electrical testing. This is the first electrical testing step. And you know, we conduct theoretical testing to ensure that the board works as expected based on their design. This includes checking for short circuit, open circuit, and component functionality. You got the point?
Yes, I got the point. The next step is ICT, in circuit testing, which is the first electrical testing step. It ensures that the board functions as designed by checking for issues like short circuits, open circuits, and component functionality. Your explanation is very clear. Keep going. What comes after ICT?
Next step is PCB cleaner. Before proceeding, the PCB is cleaned to remove any leftover solder flux or contaminants. You know, there is, in fact, I mean, actually, there is no PCB cleaner step in our pattern factory. I think our reflow oven can manage it or hold the solder plugs in the reflow oven process. So I believe that I mean, actually, there is no PCB cleaner step in our pattern factory. So just, just keep in mind. I mean, just noticed, just noticed as a sample for this step.
Got it. The PCB cleaner step is typically used to remove leftover solder flux or contaminants from the PCB before proceeding. However, in your factory, this step isn't necessary because your reflow oven effectively manages the solder flux during the process. I'll note that this step is included here as a reference or example. What's the
Yes,
next
yes,
step in your process?
yes. I mean it. Just keep in mind this step just as a reference.
Understood. I'll keep the PCB cleaner step in mind purely as a reference, noting that it doesn't apply to your factory's process. Let's keep the momentum going. What's the next step?
I think you are very smart. Okay, let's keep the momentum going. Next step is router. The PCB is separated from the main panel. If multiple boards were proceeded together, router machine cuts the board into the individual pieces.
Thank you. You're explaining everything so clearly. The next step, router, involves separating the PCB from the main panel. If multiple boards were processed together, a router machine is used to cut them into individual pieces. What's the next step in your process?
Next step is unloader, basically. Finally, the complete boards are unloaded from the SMT line and transferred to the assembly line for further processing. Actually, unload the step is in the people router because is there should be unloader machine at in the end of SMT inline because there is a railroad uh, connect there is a railroad there are railroads uh, in the SMT line and that railroads connect the machines to make smooth movement I mean smooth inline process to make smooth inline process the including uh, I mean connecting the many machines. So we there must be a noodle at the last of the inline.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
So I say one time. There should be a noodle at the end of the SMT inline because there are many railroads connecting the machines in the inline, and we need unloader at the end of SMT. at the end of SMT line. You got the point?
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
What keeps you busy? Hey, come on, GPT. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm right here with you. Let's keep going. What's the next step after the router process?
Uh, I'm gonna explain it one more time. Listen carefully. There must be another machine at the end of assembly line because there are many railroads between the machines in the assembly line. So at the at the end of last assembly line, there must be another two to make PCBs from the railroads to a magazine to keep PCBs in the magazine. So there should be another at the end of the SMT line. You got the point?
Yes, I got the point. At the end of the SMT line, a loader machine is essential. It transfers PCBs from the railroad system used between machines in the SMT line into a magazine where the PCBs are stored. This loader ensures that the PCBs are properly organized and ready for the next steps. You explained it very clearly. What's next in the process?
Okay, next process is the manufacturing process flow as for SMT assembly line. Listen carefully. Number one step is the first step is active alignment. Here, the camera modules are aligned and assembled with precision to ensure they function correctly in real-world conditions, such as focusing and image quality. You got the point? This, I believe that active alignment is one of the most important process of the whole manufacturing, or of the whole camera manufacturing process.
Yes, I completely understand. The first step in the assembly line is active alignment. This process ensures that the camera modules are precisely aligned and assembled to function correctly in real world conditions, such as achieving proper focus and image quality. You're absolutely right. Active alignment is a critical step in the entire camera manufacturing process. What's the next step?
Okay, next step is oven cure. Some components, some components require curing after the assembly, especially adhesive used to secure parts. This is done in an oven. In fact, oven cure is needed because of the AA process. In the AA step, in the active alignment step, UV light used to fix the component, which to fix the adhesive temporarily, just temporarily, to fix the lens and the PCB. People move on to the next step, open cure. In the open cure in the open cure step, make in the open cure in the open cure step, adhesives are fixed permanently by specific temperatures and time. You got the point? In the active alignment step, UV lights can fix the adhesives between lens and the PCB just temporarily before move on to the open cure step. It's just the temporary fixing. You got the point?
Yes, I got the point. The open cure step is necessary after the active alignment process. In the active alignment step, UV light is used to temporarily fix the adhesive between the lens and the PCB, holding them in place for alignment. Then, in the open cure step, the adhesive is permanently cured by applying
Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God. Let me mark here. Let me mark here to get back me after after I mean in next session. Let me mark. Today is 2024 December 2nd, Monday. Okay, I got it. Okay, okay. GPT, are you there? Are you with me? I just finished my own customized mode. So, as I told you before, there is a specific time limit, so I couldn't do any more. I couldn't do, I couldn't practice more time because of the specific time limit. So let's continue. Let's continue my repetition and the remind time with me, with you. I'd like to practice with you more time for my repetition time. You got the point? You know, like I said, my whole exercise session compose, 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 my whole practice session composed of three parts, and this is the second part. This is the second part uh, that that I like to practice many times. I mean, I like to repeat many times good with good sentences that I prepared last week.
Got it, David. Let's dive into the repetition and reminder part of your practice session. I'm here to help you go over those sentences as many times as you need. Let's start with the first sentence you have
Listen
prepared.
carefully. Listen carefully. This is my speaking practice session, so I'd like to speak as much as I can possible. So listen carefully. I am. We don't have. I have so much to say. We don't have time. Let's dive into. Without further delay, let's dive into my repetition time, my mimicking and repetition time. Listen carefully. I'm. Do you know? Have you ever heard this sentence? I'm getting the hang of it. I'm getting the hang of it. Or you are get I when I see you, you are getting the hang of it. What's the mean? What's this mean?
You're doing great, David. The sentence, I'm getting the hang of it, means you're starting to understand or become good at something after some practice or experience. It shows progress in learning a new skill. So if someone says this to you, they're noticing your improvement. Want to try saying it again?
No, let's move on to okay. Let's move on to the next one. Your repetition is coming along nicely. Your my repetition. I think my repetition is coming along nicely.
Nice work, David. Saying, my repetition is coming along nicely means that your practice is improving and progressing well. It's a great way to acknowledge your hard work. Let's keep that progress going. What's the next sentence?
I live in a computer dormitory, so I can commute quickly. Last week, there was heavy snowing last week. But however, I live in a company dormitory, so I can commute quickly last week. How about my explanation for the early commuting, even though there were heavy snowing?
Great effort, David. To make it a bit smoother, you can say, even though there was heavy snow last week, I live in a company dormitory, so I could commute quickly. This structure clearly explains your situation. Want to give it another try?
How about this version? How about this explanation? How about this speaking? Listen carefully. I think it's one of the benefits. of living in a company dormitory near the office. Using living instead of lives in this context is more accurate. So I need to say living for this context. I say one more time. I think it's one of the benefits of living in a company dormitory near the office. You got the point?
Absolutely, David. You're right on point. Saying, I think it's one of the benefits of living in a company dormitory near the office is a perfect way to highlight the convenience of your situation. Using living here is indeed more accurate since it describes your ongoing action. Great job. Shall we move to the next one?
Let me take a second. I'm just looking for where we left. Let me take a second.
Take your time, David. Let me know when you're ready to continue, and we'll pick up from where we left off.
Okay, okay. Okay. I couldn't, I couldn't find the special spot or marking that I marked last week. I mean, our last practitioner was in the December, December 9, December 29th, but I couldn't find the special spot or mark uh, says December 29th. I can't, I couldn't find it. Where is it?
No worries, David. If you can't find the exact spot, we can start from a new sentence or pick up with any sentence you'd like to practice again. How about we choose a sentence related to your work or daily life? That way, it's practical and useful for you. What do you think?
Let me think. Let me think. Okay, I got it. I think I understand what you're trying to say, but I'd like to make a specific point that uh, we start. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Okay. How about this sentence? Listen carefully. Why don't you tell me what's going on? Why don't you tell me what's going on? This is very simple. I think this sentence is very simple, but hard to use in real life situation because my mouth muscle is not familiar. Is not familiar. My mouth muscle is not remember. My mouth muscle is not remember this simple sentence. This is a simple sentence. So I think I need to practice more times with this simple sentence. Carefully, I say more time. Why don't you tell me what's going on?
That's a great choice, David. Why don't you tell me what's going on? Is indeed a simple yet powerful sentence for real life conversations. It's perfect for inviting someone to share information with you. Repeating it will definitely help get it into your mouth muscle. Let's say it together again. Why don't you tell me what's going on? Want to give it another go?
Why don't you tell me what's going on? Why don't you tell me what's going on? Why don't you tell me what's going on?
Excellent, David. You're really getting the hang of it. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Keep up the great work. Would you like to move on to another sentence or repeat this one a few more times?
Listen carefully. I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you. Can you tell me what this simple sentence means?
Certainly, David. The phrase, I hate to break it to you, is used when you're about to deliver bad news or something the other person may not want to hear. It softens the message a bit, showing that you don't enjoy sharing this information. Ready to try saying it?
I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you. Why don't you tell me what's going on? Why I hate to break it to you? Why don't you tell me what's going on? I hate to break it to you. Why don't you tell me what's going on? I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you. Okay, let's keep the momentum going. If you want me to, I will. If you want me to, if you want me to, I will. If you want me to, I will. If you want me to, if you want me to, please tell me exactly. Please, if you want me to, please tell me one more time. If you want me to, please tell me one more time. I will do.
Well done, David. You're flowing through these phrases smoothly. If you want me to, I will, is a versatile phrase that shows your willingness to do something if the other person desires it. It's great for offering help or support. You're doing fantastic. Ready for the next one?
All I want is sleep. All I want is my work. What I want is love. What I want is a kind comment. What I want is kind compliment. What I want is good explanation. What I want is what I want is noticing the future work.
You're doing great, David. What I want is a powerful way to express your desires or needs clearly. You're getting creative with it, which is fantastic. Keep using it to articulate different wants, and it'll become second nature. Ready to try another one?
What I want is engaging you.
Nicely done. What I want is engaging you is a direct and clear way to express your desire for someone's involvement or participation. You're doing
Or
fantastic with the
what I want is engaging this practice session with you. What I want is continuously engaging. What I want is continuous engaging with you.
Got it, David. You can say, what I want is to continuously engage with you. This way, it's clear that you're interested in maintaining an ongoing and active practice session. Excellent work. Would you like to try that again? Ways.
If you don't mind, please say it one more time.
Of course, you can say, what I want is to continuously engage with you. This phrase clearly expresses your desire for ongoing interaction. Give it another try
Listen
when you're
carefully.
ready.
I say one more time. What I want is continuously engage with you.
Fantastic, David. You nailed it. What I want is to continuously engage with you sounds perfect. You're doing an excellent job with these phrases. Would you like to practice another one or repeat this one a few more times?
Listen carefully. This is one of my favorite quote to motivate myself. Listen carefully. The magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding.
That's a powerful quote, David. The magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding. It's a great reminder that often the growth and success we seek come from.
Am I right? When I want to express this kind of simple sentence, uh, how about this version? This is one of my favorite quote to motivate myself.
Yes, you're right, David. Your version works well. This is one of my favorite quotes to motivate myself. It clearly conveys that the quote inspires you. Great job. Do you want to practice saying it again?
The magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding.
Perfect. That quote really resonates, and you delivered it well. It's a great reminder to face challenges head on. You're doing an excellent job with these motivational phrases, David. Would you like to continue with another one?
It's been great. You know, it's been great means it has been great. right? So if I want to express my feeling and that if I got the inspiration or have good or I had good experience, or I mean, if I had a valuable experience about that, I can say it has been great. So I can say easily in abbreviation form, it's been great.
Exactly, David. It's been great is a perfect way to express that you've had a positive, valuable, or enjoyable experience. It's a versatile expression you can use in many situations. You can definitely say it to convey your feelings after a worthwhile experience. Want to give it a try?
It's been great. If you're talking about my YouTube upload, YouTube management. If you are talking about my YouTube management, it's been great.
Perfect, David. Saying, if you're talking about my YouTube management, it's been great, is a wonderful way to express that you're having a positive experience with managing your channel. It sounds like things are going well. Would you like to practice another phrase or continue with this one?
Don't try to learn if people you can work. Don't try to learn people you can work. Don't try to learn. Don't try to learn people you can work.
You're doing well, David. The phrase is, don't try to run before you can walk. It means you shouldn't rush into something complex before mastering the basics. It's a reminder to take things step by step. Want to give it another go?
Okay. How about this simple sentence? What's about how? I mean, how about doing a role play for this dialogue? How about doing a role play for this dialogue? This is very simple question. You know, like I said, this is a very simple question, but it's very hard to pronunciate well in real life situation. How about doing a role play for this dialogue? How about doing? How about doing? How about I need to use present tense in this context. How about doing a role play for this dialogue?
You're on the right track, David. You can say, how about doing a role play for this dialogue? It's a great way to suggest practicing a conversation scenario. Pronouncing it smoothly will come with practice, and you're doing great. Want to try it again?
No, 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 no. From now on, I'd like to take I'd like to take the uh, pre-talking time with random keywords. So I'd like to share with you today's keyword. Listen carefully. Are we all set to take the pre-talking time?
Absolutely, David. I'm ready for some free talking time. What's today's keyword that you'd like to share? Let's dive into it.
Today's keyword is evaluate, evaluate, and evaluation. You know, listen carefully. If we have if we have changes for our component, we have to evaluate them thoroughly people using in mass production line.
Great keyword, David. Evaluate and evaluation are essential in your field. Your sentence is spot on. If we have changes to our component, we have to evaluate them thoroughly before using them in mass production. This ensures quality and efficiency. How do you usually conduct?
Listen carefully. How about this simple sentence? I heard that you don't have you don't have evaluation report uh, since the since our technical team, our testing team, couldn't finish it last week.
That's a solid sentence, David. You can say, I heard that you don't have the evaluation report since our testing team couldn't finish it last week. This clearly communicates the delay in receiving the report due to incomplete testing. Great use of evaluation in a real-world context. Would you like to try another example?
Have you ever tried? How about this simple sentence? Have you ever tried? I mean, how many how many times have you ever tried to evaluate this component uh, has no impact on the performance or deadline on our project?
That's a good question, David. Here's a slightly smoother version. How many times have we evaluated this component to ensure it has no impact on the performance or timeline of our project? This question clearly asks about the frequency of evaluations to ensure the component meets project requirements. Great use of evaluate in a practical context. Want to try saying it?
If you don't mind, please let me hear one more time.
Sure, here it is again. How many times have we evaluated this component to ensure
I say
it
one more
has...
time. I say one more time. Okay, okay, okay. I got it. How many times have we evaluate to ensure that new components uh, don't have any impact on our project?
Great job, David. Your sentence was clear and well phrased. How many times have we evaluated to ensure that new components don't have any
How many
impact on our
times?
project?
I think how many times is very good phrase when I want to check the frequency of the evaluation and the testing for some issues.
Absolutely, David. How many times is a great phrase to inquire about the frequency of evaluations and
How
tests?
about this
It's
one?
precise.
How about this one? How many times I've told you, please don't tell me your polished version or refined version unless there are significant grammar errors.
That's a strong sentence, David. Here's a slightly refined version. How many times have I told you, please don't refine my version unless there are significant grammar errors? This clearly communicates your preference for when changes should be made. Want to give it another shot?
I really appreciate your kind support. How about this version? We need a evaluation report. People, we need, I sometimes, no, I sometimes, I'm sorry. I need evaluation report to report my supervisor, to express, to explain the impact on our project.
Evaluation report to explain the impact on our project to my supervisor. This sentence effectively communicates the need for the report to inform your supervisor. Want to practice saying it?
Would you mind saying that one more time, please?
Of course, here it is. I need the evaluation report to explain the impact on our project to my supervisor. This highlights the need for the report to communicate important information.
You mean I need to pronunciate the, not the in the evaluation report, in front of the evaluation report. So you mean I might say I need the evaluation report to explain there is no impact on our project about the new components. Am I right?
Yes, you're right. Saying the evaluation report emphasizes the specific report you need.
How about
Your sentence
how about using the instead of the in front of the evaluation report?
using the in front of evaluation report is appropriate because it refers to a specific report. The helps indicate that you're talking about a particular report that's already known or relevant to the conversation. So, I need the evaluation report is correct. Using a
What's the difference between pronunciation between the and the?
Good question, David. The pronunciation of the changes based on the word that follows it. When the comes before a word that starts with a vowel sound, it's pronounced the, like the apple. But when the comes before a word that starts with a consonant sound, it's pronounced the, like the book. This subtle change helps with the flow of speech.
I got it. I got it. Now I understand. Now I fully understand what you're trying to say. So I might say I need I need the evaluation report to explain there is no impact on our new project.
Perfect, David. Your pronunciation and use of the in the evaluation report was spot on. And your sentence was clear. I need the evaluation report to explain there is no impact on our new project. Well done. Would you like to practice another phrase?
Listen carefully. To minimize risk, please evaluate thoroughly on this new component for our new project.
Good sentence, David. Here's a slightly smoother version. To minimize risk, please thoroughly evaluate this new component for our project. This structure emphasizes a
So you
careful
mean
and
I might say to minimize risk, please thoroughly evaluate the new component on our project.
exactly, David. You've got it. To minimize risk, please thoroughly evaluate the new component for our project. This sentence clearly communicates the need for a
When I
detailed
need
assessment.
to listen carefully, when I need to explain about the changes when I whenever I communicate with the customer and clients uh, in in business meeting, I need to clarify the effect and impact from the new component. So I would say to the customer, uh, please please never mind this. We will evaluate. So we will thoroughly evaluate this component to minimize risk on our project. So please, and I will let you know if there is any challenge arise.
That's a solid explanation, David. Here's a refined version. When I communicate with customers and clients in business meetings, I need to clarify the impact of changes from new components. I would say,
I sometimes I will let you know before implementation, and we will thoroughly evaluate the changes of components. So please keep in mind, we will keep eyes on this. If, we will keep eyes on these changes. So be relieved. Be I will make you reassuring about the changes.
Great effort, David. Here's a refined version. I'll keep you informed during the implementation, and we'll thoroughly evaluate the component changes. Please rest assured we'll monitor this closely and keep you reassured about the changes.
So,
This
so, so,
version
so
may
you use rest assured. Rest assured means the customer feels relaxed. Am I right?
Exactly, David. Rest assured means you are assuring the customer that they can feel relaxed or confident about the situation. It's a reassuring phrase that helps put them at ease. Great
So,
understanding.
so
Would you
whenever I explain the changes, I want to make my customer less assured. So I need to explain it very carefully to make my customer and client less assured.
Absolutely, David. When you explain changes, using clear and careful communication helps you customers feel rest assured. This approach builds trust and confidence in your professional handling of changes. It's a great strategy for customer relations. Would you like to practice a sentence with rest assured?
I want to keep my presentation with you more, but however, I have to go. I have a lot of things to do. It's time to let things go. I am very disappointed about that. Um, Deputy Jessica Blin, do you remember when you say goodbye, we say 팽바, 팽바. Take care of the rest of the day. 팽바. Bye for now.
I understand, David. It's been a pleasure practicing with you today. And yes, I remember. Pengba. Take care and have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.
Have a productive day ahead. Bye for now. 팽바.